Hello, and thank you for joining us to our podcast called The Growth Journey. This is a place where you will start your personal and development. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Share Hart. There are a number of you to whom I have had a discussion with about being so busy. It seems there is not enough time in a day, isn't it? I actually had about 1 hour discussion or so with someone about this subject. It's really fascinating to hear that we are all wondering why we don't have enough time in a day and that we barely accomplish anything. But yet, we are doing so much. So we thought that we're doing so much and that makes us feel busy all the time. When I got this type of conversation, I then asked myself, they said they are busy, but what exactly they are busy on or busy about? Well, being busy and being productive are two different things. So being busy is just that, busy. No accomplishments whatsoever. It's just busy. The other one is productive. So being productive meaning you produce something, you accomplish something, you engage at something fruitful, and at the end of the day, you get some results. So there are times you can't get away with being busy. But if we wanted to get some results, we need to be productive, right? So the key here is to prioritize your schedule in a way that will lead you to become productive. So our episode today is about prioritize your life, not just your time. Stephen Covey have said, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. To be sure to prioritize and put the things in life that matter most to you, like your family, your friends, your health, your spiritual being, and many more. In John Maxwell's book called Today Matters, he said that today priorities gives me focus. So let's use this time to discuss in great details about priorities and focus. So did you know that time is our most precious commodity on earth? Given the choice, would you rather save time or money? Most people will focus on dollars, the money. But how you spend your time is much more important than how you spend your money. Here's the truth. Money mistakes can often be corrected. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. You won't be able to get it back. And here's the truth. We cannot change time either. Only our priorities. Do you recall when was the last time you said to yourself, man, I need more time? Or perhaps you were thinking about how long this will take me. You're probably just thinking about it now or just said it a few minutes ago. We've also thought about time management, right? At school and at workplace, that you might have taken on some time management class or a workshop or have read a book about time management. I'm sure you have learned so much on this topic and some of you have applied or most have forgotten about it. So here's the truth about time management. A sales consultant and author Myers Barnes says time management has nothing to do with the clock, but everything to do with organizing and controlling your participation in certain events that coordinate with the clock. So every one of us has a 24 hours in a day. I got my 24 hours, you got your 24 hours. Everyone got 24 hours. Well, tell me if you do have 25 or 26 hours and I will trade something with you. So we got 24 hours, 7 days a week and 365 days, except perhaps leap years, right? So unless we are in a different parts of the galaxy or the universe that they have a separate time clock, let's say light years perhaps. However, this is not how we operate here on Earth. You see, you cannot manage time. You cannot save time either. We cannot turn back the hands of time. We cannot borrow the time and pay it later. or have more time tomorrow than today. Time is unemotional and uncontrolled. It moves forward regardless of our situations. Since you and I cannot change time, we must instead change our approach to it. So, how do we do this? Since we cannot do anything or everything all at once. So, it's funny when you become a parent to the young ones, you become an adult instantly, which means all the things that you do on a daily basis changes, and it all revolves around kids, our schedule, time, and our life, compared to when we were single. When we were single and no responsibility, we can do whatever we wanted, right? We can sleep in throughout the morning and wake up in the afternoon and go party all night and every night. So if you want to know and what it looks like having priorities, have a child or two. And I guarantee your life will change instantly. And you know what? It's for better. Right now we have two boys, ages 9 and 12 years old, and we love them dearly. When I was pregnant with our second child and working at that time, since we do not have relatives nearby us who can help watch our boys, and the daycare expenses are skyrocketing, we decided that I stayed home mom with the boys and living in one salary. So the good thing is we planned this ahead of time. At that time, we've made our finances a priority. So 1, we try to live on one salary. 2, pay off our debt, our car loan, our small credit cards. 3, save at least 6 months of emergency fund. And 4, bought our house. We've saved up and pretend to live on one salary while I was working. We have bought our house and paid off our car while we have put aside an emergency fund. I tell you what, it was the best decision that we ever made. Staying at home with your child and spend time with them, building memories with them while they are young, was the best part of our parenthood. Because as we know, our kids won't be babies forever. They will grow very fast and we cannot stop them. So the memories we build from when they are young will last forever. So to those of you who are staying home mom or dad out there, you are doing a great job. And I'm glad you made that choice because other moms and dads would like to stay with their kids. But for some reason, and mostly in terms of finances, they won't be able to do it. And it's not easy either to stay home mom and dad. And it's difficult sometimes. And I know, I've been there. I went through that with you. So I stayed home for about 3 years until I got an offer to come back to work to the same company that I left. But before I accepted a position, I told them upfront that I need to be in a certain time to be home and my work schedule are revolved around my kids. So I told them upfront, if they can work with me on that, then I will take the position. And then luckily they said yes. They said no problem, just get back on it. They just want me to come back to the company. You see how I did there? I made my kids and my family my priority than the position that was offered to me. If they are unable to work with me on the schedule, I can just walk away with it and don't accept the position. However, not everyone will get an offer like this or thinking that this will fall into their lap. You have to be known as the top performer at your workplace, and they know who you are and how you work with them. I just wanted to point that out because becoming the best of what you do and to be known as a top performer, you don't have to worry about finding another job or a company that will be willing to work with you no matter your family situations are. So if you are not yet at that point, I would suggest to make this as your priority. So if you like the culture, the company, the vision, the mission, and the people that you work with to that company, be the top performer at that company make it as your priority. If not, find other companies where you can flourish and has potential for you to grow and your talent and your skill set. So when I came back to my workplace full time, I knew I was their top performer, but then I decided not to stay in my current position at that time. My focus and priorities have shifted a little bit. My kids and family are still my number one priority. Our finances and I then added another priority and focused more on my personal growth and development. I wanted to lead a sales team in North America. So I focused on that, on how to become a better leader to them at the same time, bringing a result as a top salesperson. For the past 5+ years, I have been working on this personal growth and development and have worked harder than before. I made this as my priority daily. So today, my priorities have shifted again and added new priorities. I would like to make an impact to others and share what I have learned throughout my career and my life experiences in hopes that it inspires you to do better, give you some directions or guidance on how you will apply this, and in hopes that become the best version of yourself. Our priorities changes. It won't stay the same as it were before, especially when life happens and forces you to change to whether you have control of it or you do not have control of it at all. What you do then is to shift your priorities on what is right now and what's right for you, that you have to do and what is important to you. When that's done or you have to maintain it, look for the next opportunities that you have to do and focus on that. This takes months and even years to accomplish, but you will get there. So how do you know what to prioritize? So first, identify the different areas of your life. To help you identify what they are, here are the 4 key areas that you need to look at or to look into. But keep in mind, this is no in particular order. You need to make this as your own on how you make your priorities. Okay, so these are the 4 key areas that you need to look at. So number 1, family. As I shared earlier, my previous priority was my family because my second child being born, and we made a decision that I stay-at-home mom. So for you, what is your priority with your family? Perhaps become more closer to them, build memories with them, or maybe you are also deciding if you would like to stay-at-home mom or dad and spend time more with your kids. So whatever it is, make those lists in a family column. The second one is finances. When deciding something major life changes, such as staying at home mom or changing jobs or moving to other places or whatnot, finances will always come to play. So always look into your finances if you can afford it or not, or find other ways to earn money or to save up. Make a list of what you need to work on and prioritize in terms of your personal finances. Do you want to get out of debt? Have more investment? Planning to your retirement or retiring early? Or have a promotion at work? Or perhaps you would like to establish your own business or make your business a priority to grow more. So whatever it is, make a list and analyze them and make an actionable plan in your personal finances. The third one is health and wellness. Make a list of things that you wanted to improve your health and wellness. Either exercising more, quit smoking perhaps if you are smoking, and if you are drinking too much adult beverages or alcohol, maybe start thinking about minimizing them or quit them altogether. Or perhaps you want to lose weight. You will enjoy everything you work hard for if you are in a great shape and when you are healthy. It says that being healthy means getting more out of your life. So focus on prioritizing on being healthy, not being skinny. The fourth one is spirituality, or you're spiritual. Prioritize your faith. I always believe there is always bigger than us, and there's more powerful than us. This way, no matter how successful a person can become, or how wealthy or powerful, it will keep your feet in the ground, and it teaches you to be humble. So I grew up as a Christian, and I am raised as a Catholicism. I was in a Catholic school when I was in high school. So everything I knew about Christianity is through the Bible. In fact, my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, is a pastor, and all he teaches us about personal growth, leadership, and living with significance life is through the Bible. You just didn't know it, but it speaks to you and I. All the lessons that you hear here in this podcast is through that. Why? Because we are spiritual beings. We crave for this type of lessons and teachings, even if the Old Testament or the New Testament form the Bible. It's from the Bible. All the teachings there is about people and life lessons and how they overcome it. This is something I myself needed to work on more in spiritually. So I am with you if you are not quite there yet as well. This is a lifelong priorities that needs to do it daily. So no matter what your religions are or religions, or perhaps you do not have one, take a look at your faith and spirituality. It may or may not be the right time today, but do not cross this out in your list of priorities. It may not be today, but the time will come that you have to revisit this again. So after making your list, your priority list, and you still didn't know what you need to prioritize on, so maybe this one will help you. So John Maxwell said about priorities, you can have anything you want, but you cannot have everything you want. You have to choose. Excellence comes from doing the right things right. You've got to let go of the rest. So if you're not sure what the right things are, as John said, so pretend you have only 6 months to live. So if you have only 6 months to live, what are the things you would like to do in that short time period that you have to do the right things? So think about that. Keep in mind that since we cannot have everything all at once, we need to accept the fact that we won't be able to do certain things. Some things needs to wait, or at times we need to cross them out of our list. This is why we call it priorities. Certain things that we need to focus on that will give us the most reward, either short-term or long-term. If we do not prioritize, we will then do small things for everything and accomplish nothing. Then we are wondering why we are not moving ahead. This is why it's so important to prioritize. So remember, we are all running our own race. Some takes longer than the others. So to be successful, you cannot just run on the fast track. Run on your own track. People who reach their potential and fulfill their dreams determine and act on their priorities daily. So how do you do this? Number 1, first make a plan and follow the plan. How are you going to accomplish the priorities that you've made? Do you need resources to help you out accomplish them? With family members, co-workers, or hire a professional, especially if you are thinking about retirement and investment, people at church for your spiritual goal, your human resources or your boss regarding your work, or if you are working on promotion and become a top performer of your company. Maybe you would like to establish a business. So include those people in your plan who can help you meet your priorities and start following them. So the second one is evaluate priorities daily. Priorities don't stay put. You have to revisit them every day and see if you are in the right track. See if your plan is working and if you need to make some changes. It has been said that change your plan, not your priorities. Number 3, plan your time carefully. Look at your list and put them in order of priorities. Look at your number 1 in your list and start working on them. Just the number 1 and don't look at the others. When you are done with number 1, do the number 2. When you are done with number 2, then move to the number 3 and so on. Do this until you accomplish them, everything in your list. Number 4, revise or revisit your priorities. Either every month, 3 months, or 6 months, or even a year. Sometimes our priorities changes. See if your priorities change. Either you need to add or take out some of your priorities and change them. By doing these steps, you are more focused and you will feel that you have accomplished something. When you feel that you have accomplished something, you are fulfilled. It will give you so much motivations and inspire you to do more, and it will fuel your energy. It energizes you when you feel more confident about yourself. Accomplishments build confidence. The final thought on this is, if you don't make your life a priority to do the things that you really wanted to do, again, the things that you wanted to do, well, guess what? Someone else's will create a priority for you. And more than likely, it is not what you want. And you're not going to like it. It's what they want you to do. And they will drain your most precious commodity on earth, which is your valuable time. So decide what you want to do. Make a plan. Put it in your calendar. And make it a priority. And make it happen. You will be happier this way because you did accomplish them. And that takes ownership. So I hope this lesson had helped you, inspire you to think about what you need to prioritize in your life. So look at them, make a list, take action, and revisit what you accomplish. In closing, if this is the first time you are listening into our podcast, feel free to subscribe so you will get notified as soon as the episode is posted. Every Sunday at 5 a.m. Central Time, US. Feel free to share this episode or the podcast to anyone you know to help them prioritize their life as well. By sharing this with someone, you too are making a difference to their life. Also, feel free to leave comments into the podcast and or feedback or suggestion on what topic you would like to hear in our next episode via email at cheryl@cheryliheart.com. And I will read them all. It will be great to know that this episode or the past week's episode have helped you in some ways. When I hear them from you, this will give me more fuel and motivation and inspiration to create more because I knew I'm making an impact to your life. This is the goal of this podcast, to make an impact to you. Also, feel free to check out our website at www.cheryliheart.com, and depending when you are listening to this episode, so feel free to sign up so you will be included in our email list. We will let you know as soon as the course is available. So before I sign off, I would like you to always remember this. If you don't invest in your own personal growth, no one will. Take care and be well.